7:35 on a Friday. We want to welcome Gail Clark and Marion O'Leary to microphones 3 and 4.
And while Gail Clark can't push herself as much as I can, she does a tremendous, tremendous job over there, helping people to reach their financial needs that they need to get to, and that the importance of, especially when the market's this tumbly, it's very important to have some professional advice, and I cannot recommend Gail enough over.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really wanted to take an opportunity to talk about Serenity Inc. and some of the things that they do, which is Marion O'Leary is the president of the board of directors for Serenity Inc. And I could not think of anybody better to talk about it because she has been there from the very beginning building this.
Right.
So,
not quite from the beginning, but it sometimes feels that way.
Let's remind our listeners exactly what Serenity is and the purpose behind it, and then we'll get down to the talking points here
Great.
so everybody understands.
Sure. Serenity is a domestic violence program that helps victims, men, women, and children of domestic violence in the Baxter and Marion County areas. Serenity's been in continuous operation for over 25 years, I think since 1988, which says a lot, you know. And what we're very proud of is a couple of years ago we opened our new shelter over on Highway 62 across from the sheriff's office. And the new shelter was really designed to be able to provide more help to the clients that we saw. In the old shelter, it was very dark. It was run down. Yeah. We had blinds over all the windows. It was out on Highway 5, so it was in a public area, but we tried to keep it hidden. And what used to happen is women would come in with their kids there. I mean, we had 4 bedrooms. They were 8 by 10 bedrooms. So imagine what that's like. We had 2 bathrooms upstairs, and, you know, the place was run down. And the kids didn't like it. It wasn't a kid-friendly place. So what we saw is that a lot of times clients that would come in wouldn't stay as long as they needed to because it was just too hard for them to stick it out.
And
especially
unfortunately,
the kids.
they'd go back into the same situation that they had just left.
Exactly. And they didn't, because they didn't have alternatives.
Right.
So, gosh, I don't know, 10 years ago, we decided we had to do something different. We had to get an environment that was more of a healing environment for them. So we were lucky. We took advantage of the downturn in the commercial real estate market, and we were able to get a building that had been in foreclosure for a reasonable price. Yeah. And we opened the shelter a couple of years ago. And since opening it, not quite 2 years ago. And since opening it, we've doubled the number of clients we've served in a year. But the thing that's really telling is now a third of the clients we serve are kids under the age of 12.
What?
That's a big statement. A third of our clients in the shelter are kids under the age of 12. And can I tell you something? Kids are why I got into this. When I moved here, I started volunteering at Serenity because I didn't know much about battered women, that's what we used to call it, you know. And I was fortunate myself, not having lived through it, but I wanted to learn more about it. And I'm telling you, it was eye-opening for me. It was absolutely eye-opening for me because a couple of things. One is the prevalence of it. 1 in 4 women, and they're actually starting to say 1 in 3, will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. So when you're at church or when you're at Walmart and you're looking around, 1 in 3, 1 in 4 of those women and teenagers, because it's very prevalent amongst teenagers as well, are experiencing domestic violence. And there's a social stigma that comes with it. So people feel afraid, not necessarily, they feel ashamed.
Ashamed, yes.
Ashamed is the word I meant. They feel ashamed to talk about it, and they feel ashamed to get help.
Sure.
So,
and a lot of them don't know where to go.
And they don't know where to go. But the thing that really got me was the kids. You know, I was volunteering at the shelter, and I can remember, perfect example. This mom came in with 2 kids, a girl who was probably, 12, 13 years old, and a little boy who was probably 8 or 9. And the boy had a stutter, and they thought he had kind of a learning problem. And it turned out that the stutter was caused by having to go home every night to a violent household.
Of living.
Mm-hmm.
And when we pulled him out of that environment and gave him we were able to get some free counseling locally for him, the stutter started to go down and his grades went up. And he was able to go on. I mean, I don't want to say that it was a miracle overnight, because that's not how these things work.
Right. It takes time.
But the thing that really got me was, here was a little boy who had nothing to do with any of this, who wasn't going to reach his full potential, his God-given full potential. He wasn't going to get there.
The change of environment allowed him to
exactly.
prosper.
And the innocent bystanders,
the kids they're the ones that grab my heart. And now, I mean, a third of our clients in shelter are kids under the age of 12.
And just knowing that what we're doing with Serenity Inc. is actually having that kind of an impact on these children going forward. Exactly. We can stop that progression.
It's a cycle of abuse.
It's a cycle. Yes, the child is abused, and that child abuses their children, and then the next generation, and we can put a stop to it.
That's the whole thing. I mean, little kids between the ages of 2 and 5 are imprinted with domestic violence behavior. 2 to 5 years old, they get it. So anyway, the good news is we've able to double the number of clients. We've also doubled the number of men and minorities that we serve. So we actually do take care of men at the shelter. And you might say, how do you do that? We've got a room that's kind of off to the side, away from the kind of dormitory wing of the shelter, that's got access to a men's bathroom, so they're able to come in there and kind of live. So we've actually been, helping men out.
This does go both ways.
It does. And a
lot of people don't realize that.
I know.
Because men are, there's like the stigma that's attached for a woman to say that I'm being abused.
It's more so.
Yes, more so.
It's harder.
For a man to say, I am a victim of abuse by my wife, and people look at them like, well, what kind of a man are you?
Right.
But women use tools. They use the children. They use the verbal and emotional abuse. And that can...
Oh, and there's physical abuse as well.
There's,
I mean,
I knew a woman one time that stabbed her husband with a fork,
Yeah, exactly.
But
you're exactly right.
But it's very difficult for a man to come forward and say, hey, I need help.
Yeah. No, it's really an issue for them. I feel for them, because that social stigma is a lot worse. But it's about 5% of the population. So anyway, the thing that's really exciting for Serenity now is that we're focused on helping clients we're focused on getting them tools to have an independent life. So we're running seminars in the shelter, because now we got room, on how to, get a job, how to write a resume, how to interview for a job, how to budget, how to handle a bank account, how to reconcile a bank account, finding a better career, how to cook healthy, because a lot of times these moms don't know how to do that. So the good news is that in the first year, over 45% of our clients left the shelter with a job and a place to live.
That's amazing.
Which is a big improvement, because the national stats say that women will leave 7 times before they leave for good. So anyway, that beat our expectations. So we're pretty excited about the early results on this. So if any of your listeners out there would like to help,
here's how.
We've had great help. I'm a member of the Twin Lakes Home Builders.
Yes.
And we took care of the inside over there at the building.
Yes.
And Chris Nassari's son.
Yes.
As his Eagle Scout project.
Yes.
Built a dog kennel, because so many people run into that. They may need that 7 times, but they want to take Fido with them.
Aren't we the only?
You are.
We're the only one in Arkansas
I didn't know
that will take in the pets.
Because that's so important to these families as they're trying to flee. They don't want to leave the dog.
Let me tell you what, where I go, my dog goes.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's an emotional thing for those children that is,
Sure, that's their anchor.
Yes. They take that pet with them that they can love, and that's something from home, so that it's not as traumatic an experience leaving.
Right.
And also the pets are frequently a tool
for
abuse.
In
the abuse.
They're used
the
as
threat.
a weapon.
You leave, and
they're used as a weapon.
So, but anyway, but the good news is we do have good community support. The bad news is we need more of it.
As is always the case.
The government
We got a
support
yeah.
for all of the not-for-profits has dropped drastically over this past few years, and we
It's
just
actually
need
been going
as
down
much help
every year.
as we can possibly get
I would
from the
think that
community.
without the government help, you'd be better off if we could just support it locally.
Well,
I
that's,
would,
Because
you know
I bet
what?
you did.
that's what we're
I
shooting
would,
for,
I
as
would love
much
to
local
do that.
support as we can.
I mean, we're weaning ourselves off, but to be honest, we're going to avail of every dollar we can get our
Exactly.
hands
Don't
on.
cut
You
off
know,
your nose to spite your
right,
face.
right.
Mm-hmm.
But to try to build up our awareness locally, and we've got some interesting events coming up, and they're all in.
You know, let's take, we can hit them coming back. Let's,
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
okay.
go ahead and take
do
a
that.
quick break, and
then
we'll
we
hit all
won't
the
get
events.
crushed there.
Very cool.
Be right back. Coming up on 7:49, continuing our discussion about Serenity. Serenity needs your help. If you can write them a check today, let's put a one down and lots of zeros behind the one, shall we?
Man, I love that.
Hey, yeah, really.
Well, and as we talk about quality of life all the time, and that's what gives us that quality of life, is the people that do come and cooperate and donate to these causes and help the local charities, Serenity, whatever the particular charity may be, that helps to make this a better place.
Exactly.
I know we got a couple fundraisers coming up.
We do. And they're all, there's three that I'm going to talk about, and they're all in April. So on April 7th, there's the program called Arkansas Gives, which is sponsored by the Arkansas Community Foundation. And basically, they're encouraging people to give to local charities. And Serenity is registered as one of the local charities as part of Arkansas Gives. And they put a pile of money aside.
Yeah.
And what they do is they match a donation. So last year, you know, if somebody gave us $1, we got $1.20 for it. So they gave us, it's not 100%
Yeah.
match. And you never know in
Still.
advance quite, you know, how much it is, but it's going to be something.
Yeah.
And so we really encourage people to, it's very easy. They can go online to arkansasgives.org and you choose Serenity as the charity that you want to give to, and then those matching dollars will be made available to Serenity. So we're always striving to try to pull money in from outside the area as much
Sure.
as we can. This
Great.
is a nice way to do that.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And then on April 16th, this is really cool. We've got our 4th annual Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. This was a fundraiser we started a few years ago, and Home Instead is sponsoring with us. And you'd say, why would Home Instead do this? Because of elder abuse.
Yeah.
Because guess what? In addition to the kids that we have coming into shelter, we've got elderly clients that come in who have been, you know, abused frequently by family, you know,
Yeah. Yep.
stepchildren.
It's hard to imagine that somebody would abuse
they
their
take
parents.
over
but-
their, you know, banking. They take over their Social Security, and they don't leave them with anything. So that's why Home Instead has partnered with us. So it's kind of a fun event. It's on a Saturday at Bomber Stadium, and basically we get teams of people who will, the best part about this is that men have to walk in women's shoes. So you do 4 laps of the
In your
track,
heels.
in your heels, and we've got people who will
Not in my heels.
who will decorate.
No, in your wife's heels.
They get decorated, and
Oh,
we've
yeah,
got.
some of the boys enjoy it.
I'll tell you something.
I watched Kelly Lake try it. That was
did.
hilarious.
Jay Chafin does it.
Yes,
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a number of.
And then we've got hooks out to a bunch of women in town who've got big feet, so that they donate their
So they get
shoes.
some shoes made.
I know a few of them. I like to talk to them.
Exactly. Okay, so we can help them get shoes. So, and this year we're adding a pets prize, a best pet costume. So, in line with the fact that our shelter now takes in pets with their clients, as you talked about, we're adding a pet costume award. So we have a bunch of awards. People sign up, and you get sponsors, just like any marathon or any walkathon, I should say. So you get people to sponsor you for every lap, and we get teams set up, and the teams compete. And then we have we've got prizes at the end, the highest heel, which is kind of pretty
Scary.
amazing. I can remember a couple of years ago, the guy that won that, he ran, and he had these heels, and they were platform heels.
James.
And it was this amazing to me that he was able to get around.
Did he wear a
I
helmet?
can't even do that.
I can't do that. Yeah. So it was.
Did he wear a helmet?
Just in case.
Yeah. But yeah, we got that, and we've got the best performance, the best outfit. So we've got a bunch of prizes, and it's intended to be a fun day.
It's a fun day.
Yes,
It's a fun
sure,
day.
yeah, right.
And we talk about the fact about walking a mile in her shoes. So what is it like to walk in the shoes of a woman who has to deal with what we're talking about? And then finally, on April 29th, you guys know Kim Warlow?
I know
Kim
Kim
Warlow.
Warlow.
and
Kim
Tara.
and Randy,
Tara-
sure.
Yeah. So Kim and Tara have donated a training seminar. They do a fabulous job. If you've ever been to one of her leadership training seminars, and they're offering the seminar, all the proceeds go to Serenity, and they're offering it at a discount rate of only $99, which is lower than what the normal price would be. Substantially lower. So basically, the seminar is about how to kick the fear out of feedback. So that's a big obstacle for people, especially if they're new in supervisory roles, or quite honestly, people dealing with customers.
Sure, any kind of
You know,
customer
you
need
gotta
to
give
know.
If you have to give somebody feedback that you know
Yeah.
that they're not going to like,
Right.
that can sometimes be awkward.
Yep.
It can be
Yes, it
difficult.
can.
And often
be
it waits
difficult.
too long. It's like it waits too long, and then it sort of erupts in an explosion. So in any event,
We're down to the last minute and a half.
gotcha.
Okay,
So that's our third item in April. So
and it's April 29th.
April 29th. If you're interested in tickets, the tickets can be purchased at the Serenity office, Nasari Home Mortgage, and Integrity First Bank here in Mountain Home.
What's the number at the shelter so that if people need
Yep.
information? They can.
So the office number is 424-7576. And if people need the services of the shelter, our hotline, our 24-hour hotline, is 424-SAFE, S-A-F-E, which is also 424-7233. And the last plug I'll put out is if you got any time, we'd love to have more volunteers. And we got plenty of volunteer
And need some money.
opportunities.
Let's write a check
And we
today.
need the money.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. We need the money.
Serenity Incorporated.
Yes, indeed.
Bob and Linda's the door. Of course, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lemac Real Estate for all your real estate needs. Phone number?
870-405-0793. Give my honey a call. She'll get you on the calendar. We'll come out, see if we can help you to make well-informed decisions. Again, a reminder that tomorrow the Marion County Fairgrounds from 2 to 4. Come meet the candidates at Marion County. And
Curtis Coleman,
Curtis Coleman will be there. He's going to be at El Chico from 11:30. Right,
Yeah,
we have a little.
yeah. I got to
You
miss
like
both.
that, too?
Tomorrow's my last Saturday for basketball. 6 Saturdays in a row.
Whoa.
It is tomorrow.
In Marion County Jail today from 11 to 6. Stop
From the
by
tour.
and take a tour and see what it is we're dealing with over there.
Early voting starts Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Primary and the judicial election on
Yeah,
March 1.
and that's the general election for these judges.
judges,
So
very
please,
important.
please make sure you work your way down the ballot.
That wraps
Do
it
the
up.
right
We'll be-
thing on those judges.
You bet. Do it right.
Do the right thing.
Do the
on
right
The
those
right
judges.
thing.
We'll be back on Monday. Have a great day, everybody.